go Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta.
The ICC matter was a major campaign issue ahead of the last general election, with the West, namely the United States of America and Europe, issuing warnings about the consequences of electing Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto, citing the charges of crimes against humanity they both face at the International Criminal Court. Ultimately, Kenya became the first ICC member to elect suspects of crimes against humanity as president and deputy president.
East African Community Heads of State Summit.
There are those who feel the inauguration of the two leaders was the first testing ground of things to come, as this was the first avenue for the duo to play out their foreign policy.
I think that was a diplomatic score for the president, in the sense that he succeeded in bringing about mobilizing the entire continent to the inaugural. And then, of course, he he charted out the path for his new foreign policy direction.
It became clear that the idea of the Jubilee administration was to mobilize the political leadership of Africa and through it to offer a bit of an insight about how it would deal with the rest of the world.
My priority is to see a deepening of the relationship between our East African partners, and you will see us playing up those areas much more than maybe some of the traditional partners that maybe you are more used to seeing previous governments dealing with.
Bungoma Senator Moses Wetangula, a former Foreign Affairs Minister now in the opposition, says the Jubilee government has performed above average as far as cementing relationships within the region is concerned.
Kenya being the engine and driver of the East African community, I think that is a positive move.
The second one, I think, is the diplomatic score in Addis Ababa, the African Union. There must have been a lot of lobbying of African heads of states and government to support the president on the matter of the ICC. And he had almost unanimous support.
So is the ICC issue the overriding factor shaping Kenya's foreign policy now?
Nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, the only place where that issue came as an issue, and it was not even an issue that was brought by Kenya, was at the AU. Other than that, it's not been a subject of discussion in any other meeting that we have taken or that we have had anywhere, right? Our key focus in terms of our foreign policy is how to further our economic diplomacy.
Beyond Africa, I'm afraid to say that it hasn't been very good, because the relationship with the European countries remains very lukewarm, with the US remains very, very low, with the countries that have been major sources of our development support.
We have not heard of anybody say they're closing their particular embassy for political reasons.
When President Barack Obama skipped Kenya during his recent tour of Africa, some Kenyans took it negatively as a snub, compounded by the fact that the US president cited ICC cases as one of the reasons that made the timing not conducive to step in Kenya. This was yet another diplomatic test for the Jubilee government.
When we have issues between us, diplomacy requires and expects us to sit down and talk to our partners and friends. Shouting from rooftops or engaging in what I used to describe as megaphone diplomacy does not enhance the image of our country, does not enhance the relationship we have with our partners.
The first thing we have to understand is America has its own foreign policy separate from ours. And they have their own national interests that they are trying to advance abroad.
Now, since their inauguration, the deputy president has visited Central Africa, West Africa, and within the theme of economic diplomacy, the deputy president visited Japan during the first week of June for bilateral talks. President Kenyatta's first trip outside Africa as president was to London, where Kenya was leading talks on the peace efforts for Somalia. He's also been to South Africa, among other countries. Alex Chamwada for Citizen TV.